As they say, football can be cruel, but unfortunately it was your mistakes that made it cruel.
Yeah, 2 errors cost us the game. It wasn't anything tactically, it wasn't anything mentally, it was 2 errors. 2 errors where the basics weren't done properly and it's ultimately cost us the game. And I'm going to go on the front foot here, because if we had won that game 1-0, I think there'd have been an awful lot of positivity coming our way. Because the margins for error are so tight in any game of football, particularly at this level as we've seen, 2 errors have then turned this game completely on its head. So everybody's mindset now walking out of that stadium is completely different, because you're acting after the event. So it's so frustrating, but ultimately it wasn't anything other than 2 errors today. Yes, history's repeated itself because we gave away points against Northampton, we've given away points against Stevenage, and likewise today. But it's got to stop, otherwise obviously we're not going to be anywhere near as high up that table as we want. There's effectively 8 points there that have been blown across those 3 games at home.
You would have looked at your players' faces in the dressing room afterwards. Did you see it was hurting?
Oh, it hurts them because they're all great lads. They all apply themselves properly. The supporters will never criticise them for effort and endeavour, and a desire and a willingness to try and win a game of football. What they can rightly criticise all of us for, me ultimately, I'll go back on it, we've lost a game of football so it's my fault, is the fact that we aren't seeing out games of football that we should be winning, or at the very least, in that circumstance, today drawing. So, of course, it was really disappointing to go back to 1 each in the game, because I genuinely thought we were going to see the game out. But then we've obviously lost all the points that we could have gained from this game in the space of 14 minutes, something like that. 1 each, not a disaster. 2-1, that is a disaster from being in a winning position on 86 minutes.
What do you think's needed then to get over that obstacle that just keeps occurring on the odd occasion?
Well, where we're at the minute is we've shown that we are better than or the equal of any teams below us, because we won every one of those games with the exception of Hartlepool where we drew. When we played the teams up above, we've been competitive in all of those games, but we've not been able to get a win. We've drawn against Northampton, we've drawn against Bradford, and we've lost, having been in a winning position against Stevenage and Mansfield. I'm going to discount the Salford game for all sorts of reasons. So that really just outlines exactly where we are, and that's why we lie 11th in the table. We're better than what's below us. We've shown we're not better than what's above us.
Courtney Baker-Richardson on target once again, but I know it's hard to be really positive because you've lost the game very late on, but terrific goal, well made, good finish. Yeah, good finish, and then another different type of finish to what we've seen in previous games from him. He's scored all sorts of different goals now, hasn't he? I think that's 6, is it? His tally, all been at home. So he's shown all sorts of different ways to score goals. But going back to the game as a whole, Mansfield are a better team than us. They're further on the line than us. They've been in that playoff area for the last 2 or 3 years. I think they'll go up automatic this year. They've got more experienced players. So there's no point in me saying anything other than the fact that they're a better team than us at the minute. And as a result of that, they wore us down, and we effectively crumbled in those latter stages of the game.